Wealth, upscale, luxury living, affluent, convenient location, and top-rated schools. These are some of the words to describe Mclean, Virginia, which is one of the most prestigious suburbs in the whole DMV region. So in this week's video, I'll share with you everything that you need to know about living, working, and thriving in Mclean. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why Mclean is one of the most sought-after suburbs to live in all of Northern Virginia, and you're not gonna want to miss it. So sit back, relax, because we're getting started right now. Boom! Hey everybody, it's David, your favorite realtor, and welcome back to another video. Mclean, Virginia. So I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now, so I'm so excited to finally do it. So Mclean is gonna be one of the most affluent and expensive suburbs in all of Northern Virginia, and it's gonna be home to diplomats, executives, CEOs, professional athletes, political figures, and other affluent people. Mclean's also gonna be known for its upscale homes, high quality of life, scenic suburban feel, some of the most sought after schools in the state, and close proximity to both Washington, D.C. and Tysons. However, all of this comes at a price, as Mclean is one of the most expensive suburbs, not just in Virginia, but the nation as a whole. So you're mainly only gonna find the top 1 to 5% of income earners living here. So when you have a Mclean address, it holds prestige in our region, but Mclean is definitely not a perfect place, and there's gonna be one major con, which I'm gonna go over at the end of this video. So before we get started, if you ever watched any of my past videos, you notice I have a lot of drone footage. However, you're not allowed to fly a drone in Mclean because it's too close to Washington, D.C. So what I did, I spent 3 full days being boots on the ground in Mclean trying to get the best footage possible for you. So let's get the video started right now with the first thing that you need to know about living in Mclean with prime location. So Mclean doesn't have a good location. It has a phenomenal location, as everything you could possibly need in life is either right here in Mclean or very close by. So Mclean is going to be located in Fairfax County and is next to Great Falls, Falls Church, Tysons, and runs along the Potomac River. So Mclean is going to be 10 miles away from Washington, D.C., which makes it one of the closest suburbs to D.C. Then Mclean is going to be 11 miles away from Reagan National Airport. And then it's 14 miles away from Dulles International Airport, so you get easy access to both of the region's major airports. Now, what about your career? Well, Mclean is going to be located near 3 major employment hubs with Washington, D.C., Tysons, and the Dulles Tech Corridor. So the first major employment hub Mclean is close to is Tysons, which is Northern Virginia's top business district and home to Fortune 500 companies, tech firms, major law firms, and consulting companies. Then you have downtown Washington, D.C., which is the epicenter of federal government agencies, international institutions, media, lobbying groups, and nonprofits. Then you have the Dulles Tech Corridor, which is one of the largest concentration of tech jobs on the East Coast, rivaling Silicon Valley. So the easy access to the 3 major employment hubs makes Mclean ideal for professionals, regardless of what industry you're in. Now the next benefit of the location is commuting options. So commuting to and from Mclean offers many different options, as you have 4 major commuter routes that go right through Mclean. First, you have the George Washington Parkway and I-66, which gives you direct access right into DC. Then you have the 495 Capitol Beltway, which gives you a direct route into Maryland. Then you have the Dulles Toll Road, which connects you straight into Tysons, Reston, and Dulles International Airport. So yes, even though Mclean's literally right next to Washington, D.C., you're still gonna hit major bumper-to-bumper traffic during rush hour, especially in the GW Parkway, 495, and I-66. But the good news is you'll just be stuck in traffic way less compared to someone who lives out in Loudoun County. Another commuting option is the Mclean Metro Station, which is a key stop on the Silver Line. So it's easy commuting via the Metro to like Dulles International Airport, Reston, Arlington, D.C., and into Maryland. Then you have downtown Mclean, which has everything you could possibly need for your day-to-day living, such as boutique shopping, restaurants, grocery stores, coffee shops, salons, services, and a lot more. In fact, my personal doctor's office is in Mclean, and I live out in Ashburn, but I have no problem driving 35 minutes to get there because Mclean has the best of the best. Now, something you're not gonna find in Mclean is gonna be nightlife. Like there's no bars, no live music, no clubs. However, you got plenty of that next door in DC and Arlington. But if you're watching this video and moving to Mclean, chances are you're not a 27-year-old single person who wants to go out and party 2 to 4 nights a week. You're most likely an established family who's looking to lay down roots in a beautiful, safe, and quiet suburb. So without question, the prime location of Mclean may be one of the biggest pros overall. Now, as much as I love making YouTube videos about living in Northern Virginia, what I love even more is helping folks just like you relocate to the area. So if you're even thinking about moving to Northern Virginia, reach out to me, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Just know I get your back when you move into Northern Virginia. Now, the next thing that you need to know about living in Mclean, Virginia is Tysons. So Tysons is Northern Virginia's premier business and shopping hub, known for its skyline of high-rise offices, luxury retail destinations, and metro-connected residential living with 4 metro stations on the Silver Line. Tysons is also one of the largest business districts in the nation, as it's home to major corporate headquarters including Freddie Mac, Booz Allen Hamilton, MicroStrategy, and Capital One. However, without question, the main attraction of Tysons is the 2 shopping malls that offer some of the best shopping and dining in all of Northern Virginia. First, you have Tysons Corner Center, which is actually one of the largest malls in the nation, featuring more than 300 stores, including luxury brands and department stores like Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, and Apple. So Tysons is probably the best mall I've ever been to in the country. I will tell you this though, it is always jam-packed, especially in the weekends. Then you have my personal favorite, Tysons Galleria, which is a luxury-oriented mall with stores like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Neiman Marcus, Omega, Cartier, and Tysons Galleria even has a Ritz-Carlton attached to it. And the reason why Tysons Galleria is my favorite mall of all time is I do collect luxury watches, and Tysons Galleria has every possible luxury watch brand available. So it is a little bit dangerous every time I go there. So Tysons has an abundance of dining options, but my personal favorite restaurant is called Eddie V's, which is a fine dining prime steak and seafood restaurant. And this place holds a special place in my heart as I took my wife there for our first date. I proposed to her there, and we just ate there a month ago for our wedding anniversary. So Tysons is technically not a part of Mclean, but Tysons borders Mclean, so it's gonna be right in your backyard. So when you live in Mclean, you're definitely gonna benefit from everything Tysons has to offer. Now, the next thing that you need to know about living in Mclean is the style and price of homes. So Mclean offers a wide range of different style of homes, including you have much older homes that are built in the 50s and 60s. Then you have custom contemporary homes, also known as McMansions, that you see on every street. Then you have European-inspired mansions, which look like they're straight out of a magazine. Then you have many different style townhomes, with some of them being bigger than most single-family homes. And then many different style of condos, including luxury condos that can get up to $2 million. Now, a very common home and neighborhood you find in Mclean is there's a lot of neighborhoods with the homes much older, built in the 50s and 60s. And when people buy those homes, usually builders, they tear it down and they build these massive McMansions, usually around $3 million, 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, about 5,000 square feet with all the bells and whistles. So if I could only show you one video describing the homes in Mclean, it would be this video right here. As you can see, it's a big combination of much older and smaller homes into much newer McMansions. Now, I know a lot of people are relocating to Mclean from another part of the country. They're not really big fans of this because they don't want to buy a $3 million brand new construction contemporary home. And then they look at their neighbor right in front of them, and it's a 1,500 square foot Rambler built in 1955. So a lot of people prefer the neighborhood they live in, have all of the homes be similar in style and age. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of established neighborhoods in Mclean where all the homes will be very similar in style. Now let's look at the home prices. So the median sales price of a home in Mclean comes out to $1,475,000, which makes Mclean the second most expensive town, slightly behind neighboring Great Falls, which is neck and neck right there with Mclean in terms of prestige. However, if you just look at single family homes, then Mclean is substantially more expensive than Great Falls, as the median sales price of a single family home in Mclean comes out to a whopping $2,150,000. Now let's compare that to Great Falls, which is right next door, where the median sales price of a single family home comes out to $1,550,000. So Mclean single family homes are 38% more expensive compared to Great Falls single family homes. So single family homes, they're gonna start off in the low millions. That'll get you a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,400 square foot Rambler built in the 50s and 60s, and will most likely be torn down and replaced by a custom contemporary home. Isn't it crazy that $1 million home, which is a lot of money by the way, is a tear down home in Mclean? So the actual home has very little value. All the value is in the land. And then you have many homes in that $8 to $10 million range, but homes in Mclean get up to $25 million. So what does a $25 million house look like? Well, let me show you. So this beauty sold October of last year for $25 million, and it sits right along the Potomac River. This house features 32,000 square feet, 10 bedrooms, 15 bathrooms, and a 22 car garage. That's literally the biggest garage I've ever heard of. This house It's not a good house. It's not a great house. This is an absolutely gem of a house. This may be one of the best houses I've ever seen. Now let's look at townhomes. And the median sales price of a townhouse in Mclean comes up to $1,150,000. And they're gonna start off in the high 800,000s. That may be like a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot townhouse, probably built in the 60s. And they go up to $2.5 million. Now this would be a 6-bedroom, 6-bath, close to a 7,000 square foot townhouse, which would be by far the biggest townhouse you can find anywhere in Northern Virginia. But overall, the homes in Mclean are absolutely stunning, especially the newer custom contemporary style homes. So yes, you have extremely high cost of housing in Mclean, and normally I would say this is the biggest con. However, not in this case. Because if you want the best of the best, the creme de la creme, the Rolls Royce of suburbs in the DC metro area, well, that comes at a steep price. However, if you're lucky enough to be in a financial position to be able to move to Mclean, it's gonna be worth every single penny. Now, the next thing that Mclean has to offer is highly rated schools. So having a career that you love and pays well is definitely great, but being a father myself, what's even more important is setting up our kids for success. A great way to do that is by sending them to great schools. And great schools you will find, as Mclean public schools have a strong reputation for academic excellence, college readiness, with many schools consistently ranking amongst the best in the whole state of Virginia. And 2 schools in Mclean I want to highlight and these are 2 of the most sought after and esteemed high schools in all of Northern Virginia, with Mclean High School and Langley High School. So according to usnews.com, Mclean ranks as the 5th best high school in the whole state of Virginia and 218th nationally. Then you have Langley High School, and according to US News, ranks as the 2nd best high school in the state of Virginia and 148th nationally. So both Langley High and Mclean High have a graduation rate of 98%, and both rank a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. Now, most of Mclean is going to be zoned for Mclean High School, and even though it's located in Mclean, Langley High School, most of it's going to be zoned for Great Falls. But whichever school your kid is zoned for, either one is a great option, and you're going to be extremely happy. Now, the next thing that you need to know about living in Mclean is, do you love hiking? Do you love nature? Do you love stunning water views? Then look no further than Scotts Run Nature Preserve, which is a 336-acre protected area in Mclean and is managed by the Fairfax County Park Authority. So Scotts Run is situated along the Potomac River, offers a rare combination of natural beauty and challenging hiking terrain. So funny story about Scotts Run, I originally went there on a Sunday afternoon to film it, but the parking lot was jammed, I had nowhere to park, so I came back the next morning, which is a Monday morning, completely empty. I had the whole park to myself. Well, I've never personally been to Scotts Run, so I just wanted to run in there real quick, get a couple shots for this video, and mainly get shots of the Potomac River. I thought it would probably take me, 8 to 10 minutes to get there. It took me 37 minutes to hike from my car all the way to the river. Had to go uphill, downhill. I was literally sweating. And then another 37 minutes to get back to my car. So it was a workout I was definitely not expecting, but I got some great footage. So regardless if you live in Mclean or not, I would definitely highly recommend checking out Scotts Run. So David, up to this point, everything you said about Mclean, it sounds like it's a fantastic place to live, but what is the con? So I'm really pulling hairs here with this con, and this con's not gonna affect everyone. But the biggest con to living in Mclean is the pressure to keep up with your peers, also known as social comparison. As Mclean is one of the wealthiest areas in the entire country, and that level of affluence, it is visible everywhere, from luxury cars to $5+ million homes and tight-knit exclusive social circles. So the concentration of wealth, it creates an atmosphere of competition, and you're probably gonna find yourself comparing your car, your house, your vacations, even your career to others. So for a lot of people, this can lead to financial stress or status anxiety, because you're not keeping pace with the Mclean lifestyle, which seems to be the norm for everyone else. In short, Mclean offers luxury and prestige, but it comes with social pressure that a lot of people just don't like. And like I said, this con is not going to affect everyone. If you're someone who does not compare yourself to others, then guess what? Mclean literally has no cons. So if you're looking for a luxury lifestyle, affluent neighbors, highly rated schools, A+ location, then Mclean may be exactly what you're looking for. And if you want to learn more about living right here in Northern Virginia, check out these videos right here. They're going to be great ways to continue your research. And I'll see you on the next video.